Hello and welcome. My name is Dylan Simmons, GIS Student Assistant here at Fresno State, and today we will be covering how to bring your data into ArcGIS Online. By the end of this video, you should know how to import, edit, delete, and share data in the format of a feature layer. Now, let's get started. Please feel free to stop this video and explore or take your time as we continue. To access your ArcGIS Online Fresno State account, the first thing we're going to need to do is to sign into Esri with our Fresno State email. To do this, please log into your Fresno State email in your browser. Here in Chrome, I'm signed in to my Fresno State email. This is required for both faculty and for students. In a new browser tab, we are going to the following web address. You may pause the video here and copy the link on screen or get it from the description down below. This will take us to the sign-in page for the Fresno State GIS Hub landing. Here, we have two sign-in options, the ArcGIS login and the Fresno State organizational link. We are clicking the organizational link. Here, we are redirected to the campus login services. Here, you will log in as you normally do. Once completing your Duo verification, you will be redirected to the landing page. To import data into ArcGIS Online, we first need a source of data. There are three types of data that we will be exploring today, those being shapefiles, address points to table, and XY points to table. To get started, in a new browser tab, we are going to search for the following: Fresno City GIS Hub. Clicking on the first search result, we are going to navigate to the tab that says All Data. Once you've clicked on All Data, in the top search bar, we are going to search for the word park. Here, we click on the first search result. This is what we are looking for. We are going to navigate to the Download panel and click the button, and here we are going to click the Download for the Shapefile option. Once your file has downloaded and you see it in your folder, we are going to press the back button in our browser and navigate back to the All Data page. Here, we are going to replace the word park with the word fire. We are going to click on the first link that is available. And here, with the download page open, we are going to not click CSV, but we're going to click Excel. They are functionally the same, however, for today's demonstration, we are going to use Excel. Once you've verified that both files have downloaded, navigate back to the Fresno State GIS Hub in the other tab. Back at the GIS Hub, we're going to click on Content in the top ribbon. Here, we are taken to My Content, where we are going to navigate and click on New Item. This will allow us to upload the data that we just collected. Here in the pop-up, we are going to click Your Device. Here in our Downloads folder, we are going to click on the zipped parks file. Note that it must be zipped and compressed in order to upload. Here, we are going to allow the auto selection of uploading the zip and creating a hosted feature layer. Clicking Next takes us to the metadata page. Here, we have options to update and change our title, category, tags, and summary. Here, I'm editing the title to make it something more easy to remember. To prevent issues with other people saving files with this exact same name, at the end of your title, add an underscore and your initials. If this is already taken, add a number to the end of your initials like 3 or 8 to make it different as seen on screen. In tags, I'm going to add Fresno, City of Fresno, and Parks. To create separate items, when you are done typing the word or words for your item, hit the comma on your keyboard to separate it into a new item. Here, I'm adding the City of Clovis as an example of something you might accidentally add. Here, to remove it, I'm going to hover over the X and click it. In my summary, I'm going to add some information about this item, such as what it is describing and where I got it from. Adding this metadata is important, especially if you're sharing it with others, so that they may easily find it and be able to understand what it is. Once you are done updating your metadata, you may click Save. Once our item is uploaded, we're going to click Open in Map Viewer. This will create an empty map for us to view our feature layer. Here, the extent is zoomed in around our feature layer, which, as you can see, is marked in blue. These are polygons that show areas of parks in the city of Fresno. Left-clicking on any of these will give you information about that polygon. Once you're done exploring, we are going to click the pancake at the top left corner. We are going to navigate down to Content and click on it. Clicking on Content will give you a Leave warning error. As we are only viewing the data, this is fine and you may click Leave. Back on our My Content page, we are now going to click New Item once again. Here, we are going to be uploading our Excel file. We will be doing this twice, once for address and once for X and Y. Here, we're going to click Your Device and select our Excel file. Here, we are going to allow the auto selection for creating a hosted feature layer. And now we have a new option. This is Fields, showing us the fields that are present within the Excel file. Note the X and Y at the bottom. Clicking Next takes us to our location settings. This table is going to create X and Y points or address points. Here, ArcGIS has already found our X and Y coordinates for longitude and latitude. We do not need to do anything. Clicking Next takes us to our metadata page. Here, I'm going to edit the title, tags, and summary of the item for clarity for ourselves and for others that we may share it with. To prevent issues with other people saving files with this exact same name, at the end of your title, add an underscore and your initials. If this is already taken, add a number to the end of your initials like 3 or 8 to make it different as seen on screen. Clicking on tags, you will note that the items that we added previously for tags exist below. You may click on these to add them quicker. In the summary, once again, we are adding a short description and a pointer to where we found this data. In this example, the City of Fresno GIS's hub. Once you are done updating your metadata, you may click Save. Once our item is created, we are going to click Open in Map Viewer. Here we can see that we have points representing fire stations in the city of Fresno. Clicking on any of these points, similar to the polygon, will give us a pop-up showing the information that was available in the table. Once we are done, we are going to click the pancake once again in the top left and click on Content once more. Clicking on Content gives us another Leave Site warning. We are going to ignore this and click Leave. On our My Content page, we are going to navigate to and click on New Item once again. Here, we are going to select Your Device and our Excel file once again. We are going to accept the default and click Next. Here in our Fields tab, there's nothing to do, and we are going to click Next. In our location settings, we are going to change longitude and latitude to addresses or place names. Here in the advanced location settings, the default is the United States, which matches our data, and so there is nothing to do. Down in the field for address or place, ArcGIS has auto-selected address. If this would be incorrect for your data, you can click this drop-down menu and select a different field. Here, we also see our credit estimate, which is the same as before. This is correct, and we can click Next. Here, in our metadata page, we are once again going to edit our title, tags, and summary. To prevent issues with other people saving files with this exact same name, at the end of your title, add an underscore and your initials. If this is already taken, add a number to the end of your initials like 3 or 8 to make it different as seen on screen. Here in our folder selection, you see Create New Folder. This will become important later, but for now we are going to ignore this because I want to see the warning error. Here, I'm going to select tags that we previously selected and give us a summary for the item. Attempting to click Save results in a warning. we have a file name exactly the same. As we are trying to do both an XY and an address with the same file name, we need to put them in separate folders. Here, I'm creating a new folder to put our item into. ArcGIS does not allow two items with the same file name to exist within the same folder. Once this is resolved, we can click Save without any issue. After publishing, ArcGIS will take us to our item in our content page. Here, we are given a pop-up warning telling us to review locations. Only 3 of 21 locations were matched. We are going to click Yes to view unmatched locations. Here, I'm taken to the classic map viewer, which is being retired. So I'm going to click on the option to open in Map Viewer. Here, we are shown our points. However, this is incorrect. This is on the East Coast, and there's only 3 points, meaning something went wrong during addressing. Here, the problem is that ArcGIS does not have enough information. It does not have a city, state, or zip code to go along with the address location. To fix this, we are going back to the pancake and clicking on Content. Clicking on Content gives us a Leave Page warning. We are going to ignore this and click Leave. We are also going to close the Map Viewer. Back in our content page, we need to fix the problem. So, by either hitting Windows key or using the search bar at the bottom in your taskbar, we're going to open Excel. Here, we are going to open and browse and find, in our Downloads folder, our Excel file. With our Excel file open, I'm going to select and double-click to expand the titles of each column. Selecting the entirety of column E, I'm going to right-click in the header and click Insert. I'm going to do this again. For column E, I'm going to title it City, and for F, State, under which I'm going to put a capital CA, and for City, the word Fresno. Hovering my mouse over the bottom right corner, I'm going to click and drag with my crosshair to fill in the columns with both respective label. I am then going to go to File, Save As, and change the name of the file as to not confuse it with another, and to allow for ArcGIS to save it in the same location. I'm going to add the word Updated to the end of it, and click Save. Going back to our Browser tab, I'm going to go to New Item, Your Device, and select the updated Excel sheet. Here, I'm going to accept the default, and now, in our fields, we see that we have a city and state field with our address. Clicking Next, we are going to select Address and Place Names, and select the radio button for information in multiple fields. Here, ArcGIS Online has already found the location of our state, city, and address and calculated the credits. We are going to click Next. Here, in the metadata file, the title has already been changed in Excel. To prevent issues with other people saving files with this exact same name, at the end of your title, add an underscore and your initials. If this is already taken, add a number to the end of your initials like 3 or 8 to make it different as seen on screen. It is important to note that this is a new item and not replacing the one we made previously. Once we are done, we click Save. Once ArcGIS uploads this and puts it in our content, we get a review location notification telling us that 21 of 21 locations were matched. We're going to click Yes to view. We are going to open in Map Viewer and see that our locations are correct. Our update has worked, and by clicking on one of the points, we see that the state and city name have been added to our file. Navigating up to the pancake and clicking on Content, clicking Leave to ignore the warning, we are now done creating our data. To share our data, you have the option to share when you create the file, or if you're not sure and need to share it later, you can share it here from your content page. Mousing over to the person icon in each row, you can click to open your share settings. By default, All files are shared to owner only, being private. Your other two options are organization and public. To make a selection, simply click your option and click Save. To cancel, click Cancel or hit the X. To delete items from your My Content page, simply check the box in front of each item that you wish to remove. At the top, you can see the number selected. To the right, you have the options to share, delete, or move the selected files. Here, we're going to click Delete. Clicking Delete gives you a pop-up warning telling you the number of things you are putting in your recycle bin. Your recycle bin is located at the bottom of your Folders tab. Clicking on your recycle bin will show you the items inside of your recycle bin. Clicking the check boxes again allows you to select and choose what to do with the items. You can either permanently delete or restore items. Clicking on Restore allows you to select the folder in which you wish to restore the items to. Clicking on Restore Items will restore the items to said folder. Clicking back in the folder, you can see that they appear at the top. Congratulations! You now know how to import, edit, delete, and share data in the format of feature layers. Should you need any further help, please browse any of the other videos we have to explain other GIS topics, or make an appointment with us here at the Geospatial Information Center at the library online. Thank you for watching and learning more about how to use ArcGIS Online.